Welcome guys, in today's video I'm going to show you the array implementation of a DQ. So basically a DQ stands for double-ended queue. So as opposed to a conventional queue, in DQ we can delete as well as insert from both the ends, that is from the rear position also from the front position. So we can perform the insert as well as delete operation from the front as well as the insert as well as delete operation from the rear end of the DQ as well. So now let us see the C implementation of a DQ. In a DQ, the insertion and deletion can happen both from the front as well as rear. So as always, first of all, we will have to import the preprocessors by writing hash include stdio.h and hash include stdlib.h. Then we are defining one structure named queue. You can also call it DQ, but I forgot to write the DE before the queue. So that will not be a problem, and inside it we have some variables as well. We have one integer pointer A and three other integers, front, rear and capacity. The front is going to hold the index of the front of the queue or the front of the DQ. There is going to hold the index position of the rear position of the DQ, and the capacity is holding the total number of elements which the DQ can accommodate. Now if we look at the first function, which is the delete from rear function, inside it we have some conditions. So if we want to delete from the rear end of the DQ, then we have to decrement the value of the rear pointer. Now the first condition states that if the front is equal to -1, that is if the DQ is totally empty, then we don't have anything to delete and we have to print the message as DQ underflow. And the next condition is if the front is equal to rear, that is we only have one element, then we have to delete that element. We are going to print that element before decrementing the front as well as the rear value by 1. And the last condition, which is inside the else condition, it states that we basically have to delete the element and then decrement the value of the rear pointer by 1. So this is the delete from rear function. And now the next function is the insert at front function. So inside it we have to insert one value. So because of that I have taken one parameter of integer v, and the first condition states that if the front -1 is less than 0, that is if we insert one element at the front, then if the front pointer becomes less than 0, that is it becomes -1, then we have to print DQ overflow. And the else condition will provide as a condition with no error, and we can decrement the front counter and insert the value which is given to us. And now let us move on to the next function, which is the delete from front function. It is going to take the queue as input, and if the front value is equal to -1, then that basically signifies that there is nothing to delete from the front position. So in that case we have to print DQ underflow, and if we do have something to delete, then we can just delete the element by printing it on the screen. And again inside it we are going to check whether the front is greater than rear. So if the front is greater than rear, then we have to initialize or reset both the values of the rear as well as the front to -1. So this is the delete from front. Now if you look carefully, then the first condition over here basically means that if the front value is -1 and if we delete from the front, then we have to increase the value of the front variable. And since we don't have anything to delete, then we are going to print DQ underflow because the DQ is totally empty. But the next condition is completely normal. But inside this condition also we have another condition which states that if the front is greater than rear, then we have to initialize or reset both the front as well as the rear to -1. So this is basically because of the reason that the front is greater is an impermissible case, because always if you look into a normal queue, not the circular queue, then you will find that the front is occupying the index position which is less than rear. So if the front accidentally becomes the value of, so if by chance front assumes a value greater than the rear pointer, then we have to reset the value of front as well as rear to -1. And now let's move on to the final function, which is the insert at rear function. So in a DQ, if we insert at the rear position, then the rear pointer value gets incremented by 1, and because of that the first condition states if the rear value +1 is greater than the capacity, or if after inserting one element the capacity of the queue is less than or equal to the incremented value of the rear pointer, then we have to print DQ overflow because it cannot accommodate any further insertion. And the else condition states that there is no problem, we can increment the value of rear and then insert the value given by the user as parameter into that particular box of the array of DQ. And now inside the else condition, if the rear value becomes 0, then we will have to make the front value 0 as well, because as I stated earlier that the front value cannot be greater than the rear value. It can be equal to but not greater than the rear pointer of the DQ, and then print the message insert success. And the last two functions which are not that much significant are peek and display. Peek basically shows you the content which is present at the front index of the DQ, and the display traverses the DQ and shows you all the content right from the front till the rear position of the DQ. So this is the code for that. And inside the main function I basically made this a menu driven program, so it depends on the user what choice he gives to the program, and after getting his choice the following functions or the functions which I mentioned before are going to get invoked and the contents of the DQ is going to get manipulated. So this is the overall program for that. And now let us execute this code and see what happens. So it is asking the capacity of the DQ. Let me take it as 5, and then I'm going to insert at the rear. Let us insert 10 and then insert at rear once again, insert 20 and then 30. Now if I want to see the content, then I will have to display it. So the DQ now is 10, 20, 30. Now let me insert at the front. I'm going to insert 50, and now if I display the content, then you can see that we have got one message DQ overflow because we cannot insert at the front. And now let me insert at the rear once again. Let me insert 70 and then once again insert at rear. Let me insert 80. Then if I print, then you can see that the DQ is now full. Now if I insert at rear once again, then it will give me the message of DQ overflow as expected. And now if I want to delete from the front, then let's see what happens. So in the front we had 10, so 10 is going to get deleted. And now if I display the content, then you can see that the content is 20, 30, 70 and 80. And if I delete from the rear now and see the content now, so as you can see 80 has been deleted and the content now is 20, 30 and 70. And if I delete from the rear once again and display the content, we will get 20 and 30. And Now let us see what is the front element. For that I will have to make use of the peak function. So the front element or the peak value is 20, because previously 20 was occupying the place at which the pointer of front is located. And now let us finally display the content of the DQ after deleting from the rear once again. So the DQ now is 20, and if I delete from the rear once again and display, then you can see that the DQ is empty because we had deleted all the elements one by one from it. Now let me exit. So this was the array implementation of DQ in C. So thank you guys for watching this video this far. So that's all from this video guys. I hope you enjoyed it and came to learn something significant from this video. I will meet you next time. Until then, cheers and keep exploring.